Welcome back. This is the Nuuk fan. I'm going to compare it with another fan and see why it's so special. So sit back and enjoy this extended video. Hey, welcome back. So we have the Nuuk fan with the IceTouch feature, and we have a regular fan almost of the same size, to be honest. And this one's made by rTech. It's got 4 fan speeds, right from 0 to 25, 50, 75, 100%. So this one's got unlimited speeds. I mean, basically 0 to 100, and you just have a nice little jog dial. So that means you don't have any kind of restriction. You can eventually improve the speed as and when you like it. So I'll just show you how these work. I've already done some videos on this, but let me just put this on. So to start this, you'll have to press this for about 2 seconds and the article actually gets on. Price wise, this is a little more expensive because it's got a little more features on it. So this is right now at 99% battery. It just shows you the option. This is chargeable via Type-C cable, and it's also got a lanyard which I've been using for some time. This is a very handy fan. Very simple design, nothing much here, and it's also got a nice LED indicator which also doubles up as a charge indicator. And let me show you how this kind of turns on in terms of its speed. So this is 25% like I mentioned. So it's 0, 25%, 50, 75 and 100%. In terms of air delivery, it's pretty strong. I mean, I've also shown this in other videos. Let me show you how powerful it can be. If you want to just move this piece of cardboard over here, it's a little box here, but you can see that it's pretty powerful at 100%. So let's turn this off. Pressing it, long press will switch it off. And it's a pretty handy design. It's hardly about 150 grams, and it's got a lithium battery inside. Well, I'll paste the run times over here so you can actually see what's the run time for this. So I'll put it on the side over here, and you can see how long this thing can last at different speeds. So of course, slower speeds will let it run longer. And this also got a nice little OLED display over here, which helps you see the battery percentage, etc. So it's pretty good. And it comes in different colors. This one's the dark blue. Okay, let's move on to the special fan. So this is made by Nuuk, and they make really cool stuff actually. And I have reviewed some of their other fans, and you might have seen the table fan. I'll leave a link here in case you guys are interested. So this one's the BFF fan. Let me just show you what's written on the back. So again, all of these are chargeable via USB-C. Nice grippy fan. It's actually foldable, so that makes it really handy, and the color combinations are really nice. They have different color options. It's also customizable, so they can actually put some logo or any kind of writing you want on their website. So I'll leave a link to that website as well. Nice little grill at the back. You can see that the fan is actually having a smaller diameter, and it's protected with this nice plastic mesh. In the front, it's got this metallic plate. Now that's what makes this special. And it's got a very small cutout for the air output, more like a jet engine's exhaust, but very nice to look at. Now the operation for this fan is with this nice little handy jog dial button. Like I mentioned, there's speeds from 0 to 100, and let's show you how this works. And this has also got a display, so let's double click it to switch it on. Yeah, it's at speed 2. So let's keep it at speed 1. I just want to show you the sound. This is slightly different sounding. It's more of a turbine sound, and that's actually nice. So right now it's an 88% battery. So this is a jog dial I was talking about. It's about 50% running power, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then 100%. I have mentioned this before. This does sound like a jet engine roar, but it's very pleasant. Yeah, and let's see the power. So if I put something here, again, pretty powerful. You can see that nothing which can stop in front of it, so it's pretty good. It doesn't hit your face a lot, but there is a lot of airflow, and that's really cool. What makes this special is this particular metal plate over here. So let's slow down the fan. Yeah, okay, so this is at 1% of the power. I'll leave run times over here on the side, and you can actually see how it compares with the rTech fan. So run times will be over here. And the special feature of this fan is if you long press this, you see that little green icon over there? So that is basically switching on a Peltier device, which means this metal plate starts cooling, right? Of course, there's also heat generated at the opposite end, which you don't feel because that's at the back. And this particular area starts cooling. And if you notice closely, after some time, you'll start seeing water droplets on this. See, that's what I'm talking about. There's water formation already. So this is supposed to cool it down by another 5 degrees. And that's supposed to give you sort of an ice touch. I don't think the air itself gets cool, but the concept is nice, right? I don't really think it translates to cool air, but just to prove it, I can actually show you how this works. That's the reason I've actually kept this thermal camera on the side. So we'll actually do a small test and see if it actually makes a difference. Here we go. So you can see that the thermal camera is actually on. Right, so this is recorded from the thermal camera, and you can see clearly my hand's actually getting the reading over there for about 36.5 degrees, and these are the two fans over here. So rTech is over here, you can still see the logo, and the Nuuk fan is over here, and you can see that the camera's got two different ways of tracking. So basically, I think it's a dual lens setup on this FLIR camera, and the thermal actually, I'll have to kind of move these around to show you because there is a hotspot detection over there, so I can show you how exactly this tracks the temperatures. Let's put on the fans over here. So that's the Nuuk which is on. Let me just put this to about, let's say, 20%, right? So that's at 20%, and I'm going to put this to 25%. This is at 25%. So they're both running pretty decent. Okay. So basically, this fan's outputting around about 26.2 degrees around the blades, and in the middle it's at about, say, 25 degrees, and the battery is probably around about 26, 27 degrees. Let's see what the Nuuk is doing. So this one's at pretty much the same temperature. It's around 25.6, and battery is about 20, just a few milli degrees above that as well. The next thing we'll do is switch on the IceTouch feature on the Nuuk. So let me long press, and yeah, you can see that the green light is on over here. And now you can see the black spot coming up over here on the video, right around over here, right? So that's actually showing you that it's actually getting colder. So yeah, let's see what's the temperature over there. There you go. That's 18.3 and reducing. 17.7, 17.6, 17. It's gone to 17 almost. This IceTouch feature basically kind of cools this whole surrounding metal plate on this fan, and you can see that the temperature is actually lower. It's gone down to 16 now, and I can actually see condensation happening already on this. And other sides, you'll see that the fan is still showing about 25.5 or 25.7. Let me take off this and probably knock it off the stand and just show it to you how it looks closer. Now that's the Nuuk fan. So you can actually clearly see this now. So in the metal plate is actually cold, but the surroundings, those plastic rims and the fins, well, they're actually getting a little hot because the Peltier device actually generates heat on the opposite side of the plate. Apart from that, you can also see there's a slight temperature rising on the battery holder. Let's see what's happening with the rTech. rTech is still throwing around about 25 degrees, and the slight amount of heat coming over here, I guess, but it's nothing extraordinary. It's been about 2 minutes now. The temperature's gone down to about 16 degrees. Yeah. Now this is an OLED display over here, so I think that's kind of heating up a little bit, not much. But generally the fan tends to get a little hotter over here. I'm just going to see if I can get this closer. Let's see in the side. Yeah, so you can almost see through the fan now. And that's actually showing you that there's a little bit of heat inside, but that metal plate is still cold. And it's like 20-30 degrees just behind the fan. What about the back of the fan? So nothing much. It's just that one little plate over here. And if you just carefully manage to show the thermal gun over here, and you can see that it's at 31 degrees. And that's the magic of the IceTouch. So it does get cold. The normal fan, on the other hand, is just working like a normal fan. So it's just throwing out the same amount of air, 25.5. And this thing here, okay, on the normal blade, apart from that central plate, it still seems to be throwing a little bit of cold air. So I think it is working, right? So let's compare the temperatures now for one last look. So this fan, the rTech, is at about 25.1, 25.3. I would say 25.3 on an average. Whereas this Nuuk fan near the fins, with that IceTouch on, is also throwing around the same temperature. 25.3, 25.5, in fact a little higher. Yeah. Yeah, so this can be a little confusing because what's heating up is something which is inside, but the air actually feels almost as cold as the regular fan. So maybe an inaccurate way of measuring this. But I just want to show you how cool this thing is, because that Peltier device makes it stand out, and you can see how it actually works. This heat generated inside, the plate's actually cold. So the colder something gets, it's more dark blue in color. So that's what you're seeing here. My hands are actually warm, so you can see that's how it looks. So I'm going to just try and increase the temperature, increase the fan speed, sorry. Yeah, they're pretty much the same temperature, to be honest. You can see the Nuuk is actually throwing slightly less, very, very less. It's not significant, but if you look at the area around the fan, it's probably, say, 0.3 degrees lesser. Of course, that metal plate is at 18 degrees right now, 18, 17 degrees, yeah. Now I'll show you what happens. There's another magic on this one. So I switched off the rTech fan over here. You can see that the battery section has got lightly warm, so you can see that the temperature is actually changing there. Whereas this one, also generating a little bit of heat, the handle. It's very less, it's nothing significant. But I'm going to switch off this in a second, but before that let me show you something else. So it's been running for about 5 minutes right now, and this is at about 81% battery. IceTouch is actually on, and that's some amount of water condensation which is formed on that metal plate. Would you believe that? That's cold water formed on that surface. So it's really nice to see something which can do that. I mean, this is such a small little device, still able to do that. Turn off this fan and I'll show you what actually happens, right? Okay, that's gone off. Now, as soon as you switch it off, that metal plate over there starts getting warm immediately. You see? Something which was really cold now starts getting hot. That's because there's a reaction. I mean, the Peltier works in a way that when you pass current to it, there are three types of Peltiers, the ones which I know. And this one, specifically, when you pass current through that plate, it'll actually cool one side of the surface. The other side needs to be getting hot, and that needs to be cooled with some sort of heat sink. But I think in this case, they've got the fan doing that. So you can see as soon as you switched off, that metal plate has gone up to 31 point, well, almost 32 degrees. Warm to touch. So yeah, that's special. I mean, this is how this little fan works, and it's been making headlines, and it's kind of cool to have something like this. It's a nice little gadget, and yeah, that's almost gone to 33 degrees. You see, it's actually warm inside, much warmer inside. Having said all that, this is still a great fan. I mean, this has got some good features in terms of the folding option. You can actually hang it on your neck, and then it can be, switched on. It directly throws air on your face. I mean, this is really good. This folding design is awesome. The build quality is actually nice. It's not like those cheap plastics. It's not going to break, and I think this is really good quality. It's got the rubberized base as well, so it can actually stand on its own. And it's also got this jog dial, which does a good job. So it's got a nice touch feature, and I think it's really cool in terms of its design. The build quality is really nice. So what do you think? I mean, do you think this fan is actually worth? I mean, I'll leave links for both these in the description, and you can let me know what you guys think about it. This is the Nuuk BFF, and this is the Articool fan. So I'll see you on the next one. Do subscribe and share this video with your friends if you like it. Thanks so much for watching.